सर्वोच्च न्यायालयाचा जो निकाल आला आहे त्या निकालामुळे आम्ही पूर्ण समाधानी आहोत. या संदर्भात 2 वाजता माननीय मुख्यमंत्र्यांसमवेत प्रेस कॉन्फरन्सला मी उपस्थित राहणार आहे. माननीय मुख्यमंत्र्यांची प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स आहे, त्यामुळे निकालावर अधिक विश्लेषण हे प्रेस कॉन्फरन्समध्ये आम्ही करू. फक्त एवढं सांगतो की जे लोक कालपर्यंत उड्या मारत होते की आज सरकार जाणार, त्यांच्या सगळ्या मनसुब्यांवर पाणी फेरलं गेलेलं आहे. ज्यांनी वेगवेगळ्या चर्चा केल्या त्या चर्चाही किती थोतांड होत्या हेही यातनं पूर्णपणे समोर आलेलं आहे. आता याचं पुढचं सगळं विश्लेषण हे निश्चितपणे 2 वाजताच्या पत्रकार परिषदेमध्ये आम्ही करू. तोपर्यंत आपण मला असं वाटतं वाट पाहावी. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो निर्णय दिया है उस पर हम समाधान व्यक्त करते हैं. 2 बजे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी और मैं इस विषय पर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे. उस समय इसका पूरा विश्लेषण करेंगे. किंतु जो लोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्णय पर स्पेक्युलेशन करते हुए हमारी सरकार जाएगी ऐसा कहते थे, आज उनको उसका जवाब मिल गया है. हम लोग इसके ऊपर विस्तार के साथ 2 बजे बोलेंगे. आज नवी मुंबई आयुक्तालयाच्या अंतर्गत अतिशय चांगला कार्यक्रम झाला. महिलांकरता सावली अशा प्रकारचं एक इमारत जी निर्माण झाली आहे, याच्यामध्ये सायबर क्राईमच्या संदर्भातली सायबर लॅब, महिलांकरता समुपदेशन केंद्र, महिलांना डिस्ट्रेसमध्ये असल्यानंतर राहण्याची व्यवस्था, अशा सगळ्या व्यवस्था करण्यात आल्या. त्यासोबत एक निर्भया पथक देखील या ठिकाणी तयार केलेलं आहे. एर्टिगा गाड्या आणि 2 व्हीलर ज्यातनं महिलांनी कॉल दिल्यानंतर
Ertiga cars as well as 2 wheelers have been formed.
मदत केली पाहिजे अशा प्रकारचे सेंटर देखील सुरू झालं आहे.
Devendra Fadnvis' first reaction also coming in post the verdict that came from the Supreme Court, saying we are satisfied as far as the verdict is concerned, and they will give a detailed reply at around 2 o'clock, which is less than 10 minutes from now. Yesha Kotak also now joining us. Yesha, first help us understand, translate what we heard from Devendra Fadnvis.
What in fact we got to know is that Devendra Fadnavis has said that they're satisfied with the decision of the Supreme Court. The fact that those people were saying that the government would be dismissed have gotten an answer from the Supreme Court. This has been a unanimous reaction that we've seen coming in. Devendra Fadnavis as well as the Shinde faction, wherein they've said that there are people who are questioning the stability of the Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis government. But now, clearly, Supreme Court has in fact given them an answer. Now, this is what we've heard Devendra Fadnavis, Deputy CM, speaking about it. We'll see that in a while from now, we have Chief Minister Eknath Shinde also would be addressing the press conference very soon and giving his reaction. But however, just before Devendra Fadnavis could speak, we saw that Deepak Kesarkar, who's been the spokesperson for Shinde faction, also expressed a similar kind of a reaction, wherein he said that the Supreme Court has ensured that a stable government be maintained in Maharashtra. In fact, while we see that there has been certain moral grounds on which the Supreme Court had supported Uddhav Thackeray, but on the other hand, the stance clearly when it comes to the government lies with the Shinde faction, Shinde and Devendra Fadnais faction. Yes.
Yeah, so we're still awaiting that detailed press conference that will come in at about 2 o'clock is what we're understanding. But Yesha, because you got the first reaction from the Shinde faction a short while ago, are they responding to the criticism that's coming in as far as decisions that were taken by the governor, specifically when the Supreme Court said that the governor erred in the judgment that the Maha Vikas Aghadi in fact had no majority? Are they responding to that criticism?
Yes, very much. We've seen that the Shinde faction, considering we question them particularly on the fact that governor erred. Apart from that, we also question them on the bit that the whip which was in fact assigned earlier by Shiv Sena, who was in fact which was in fact replaced as Bharat Gogawale. That was also questioned by the Supreme Court when these questions were asked to the Shinde faction. The response was that in fact now when the speaker would look after this case. All these questions that have been raised at Supreme Court would in fact be looked at, and they very much believe that they are Shiv Sena, and it is not that they've gotten out of Shiv Sena. They believe that considering these people who got out of the faction are actual Shiv Sena is the reaction that is coming now, and that's been their stance from day one.
Yeah, Yesha, I want to ask you another aspect. We just heard that press conference that came from Uddhav Thackeray a short while ago, and he's one defending his decision of resigning, saying because it was the right thing to do, that was the right moral decision to take. Today, he's also saying that if people today have any morality, hitting out at the Shinde faction, saying they should also step down. Is the Shinde faction reacting to what Uddhav Thackeray
Yes.
said?
Yes, in fact, what Uddhav Thackeray is saying is something that the Supreme Court had also questioned, that if he had not resigned, the status quo would have been maintained. But when it comes to the Shinde faction, when you speak to them about this stance of Supreme Court as well as that of Uddhav Thackeray, they're saying that Uddhav Thackeray stepped down because he wanted to gain sympathy of people. There was no stance that Uddhav Thackeray had. That's what the Shinde faction is saying, that there was no chance that Uddhav Thackeray had. He did not have the support of these people. 40 of his MLAs had already gone in with Eknath Shinde, which is where he resigned because he was sure that he would not get that kind of a support on the floor of the House. And that's something that even Uddhav Thackeray has said, that he stepped down because he wanted to defend democracy, and democracy was being murdered. Now, what we've seen is that Uddhav Thackeray has said that governor acted illegally. Now, this is the kind of reaction that is coming in from him post the Supreme Court order as well. And similarly, Supreme Court was also critical of the governor's stance.
Yeah, Yesha, unfortunately, we'll have to leave that conversation there, but this is the big political story that we'll continue to track here on CNN News 18. For now, it's a wrap from my side. Slipping into a very short break. We're coming back with lots more.